What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a Manchester City Liverpool post-match analysis video. And wow, I was never in such a good mood after Liverpool being absolutely thrashed 4-0, but the scoreline doesn't tell the full picture, because I think the most fair result would have been 5-3 to Manchester City. Don't get me wrong, Man City were sharper, they probably deserved to win this game, but Liverpool actually started as the better team, and the most important thing is that Liverpool are still Premier League champions. We are now only 20 points clear of Manchester City, and I'm saying only in quotation marks. I'm not too bothered that Liverpool lost today. The manner of the defeat hurts. It always hurts when Liverpool lose by a big scoreline. But we are Premier League champions. We probably have been drinking for the past week. I mean the Liverpool players and Jurgen Klopp, and probably not sleeping a lot. And that showed that physically Man City were just a little bit quicker, sharper, and just maybe more clinical in front of goal. And Liverpool were actually very unlucky not to go in front, because Mohamed Salah hit the post. We had some chances where Ederson made some saves. Bobby Firmino couldn't score the rebound when Salah's shot was parried by Ederson. And I think it's a completely different game if Liverpool take the lead, because then Man City's confidence would have dropped down. But I mean, some Liverpool players, I don't want to criticize them, but they played like they were still drunk high on the celebrations of celebrating the Premier League title. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Jurgen Klopp is probably the manager who celebrates the most a league title win after 30 years. And if you saw the pictures of and videos of Liverpool celebrating, you can't really fault the Liverpool players and Jurgen Klopp for celebrating, because this is the first title in 30 years. I think that Liverpool and Liverpool players deserved to celebrate to the fullest. I think it's just unlucky that game after the title celebrations was our hardest game of the season, probably, against Manchester City away from home. And especially because Man City were very hungry to show the Premier League that they are not done, that they shouldn't be 23 points behind Liverpool. And I mean, this is testament to how great this Liverpool side have been this season, that this Man City side, who are one of the best teams still in the world, are 20 points behind Liverpool. Yes, still 20 points behind Liverpool. And I mean, that just shows what an incredible job Liverpool have done this season. And Liverpool can still break all kinds of records. We can still break the points total in the Premier League. We can still get 104 points. Hell, even if we lose one more game and win the rest, we can still break Guardiola's and Manchester City's 100 points record. We can still get the most wins the Premier League has ever seen in a one season. Man City are on 32 wins 2 seasons ago. Liverpool are on 28. So we just need to win 5 more games and we get past that record. We can still win the title by the biggest margin ever. The biggest margin used to be 19 points 2 seasons ago when Man City got 100 points. They won it by 19 points. Liverpool can still win it by more than 20 points if we keep winning. And I think Aston Villa will feel the backlash, because Jurgen Klopp was definitely not happy in his post-match interview. He was quite frustrated, and Jurgen Klopp actually said that Man City were just quicker than Liverpool in mind, and Liverpool lacked fluidity, and against Man City you have massive problems if that happens. We had moments, we had chances, we didn't use them. The result we have to take. I liked my team's attitude. Isn't it nice another team can be champions when Man City can play so well? Man City are incredible. I saw their season. They didn't play a bad game, Jurgen Klopp said. And that's probably true, that even in the games where Man City lost, they were still an incredible attacking force, but defensively they were very shaky. And this game, actually, Liverpool could have taken the lead, as I said early, if Salah, his shot when it hit the post, if that goes in, it could have been easily another story. But this game was famous for Man City being absolutely ruthless and clinical with their opportunities. And Raheem Sterling finally breaking his goal-scoring drought. He hasn't scored in the previous 8 games against his former club Liverpool. He only had 1 assist. In this game, he gets a goal, he gets an assist, and he wins the penalty, which Kevin De Bruyne scored. By the way, the penalty, I think Joe Gomez had a below-par game. No wonder Jurgen Klopp substituted him. Probably this was the worst game of Joe Gomez in a Liverpool shirt, just like Andy Robertson. I mean, Andy Robertson made more mistakes in this one game than in the whole season before this game. So Joe Gomez probably holds Raheem Sterling too long, maybe 1 or 2 seconds too long than it was necessary. But also Jordan Henderson should have doubled up on Raheem Sterling. He failed to help Joe Gomez, and yeah, Joe Gomez holds Sterling too long, but still I think that Raheem Sterling goes to ground too easily, and it was a soft penalty, but it can be given. If Joe Gomez lets Sterling go maybe a second second earlier, it wouldn't have been a penalty. And then Raheem Sterling scores a second goal where Liverpool were all over the place. Joe Gomez and Robertson were out of position, and then just before halftime, the killer goal. Robertson mindlessly rushes out to Phil Foden. He plays a quick 1-2 with De Bruyne, who was unplayable today, and probably Kevin De Bruyne was again the man of the match for Manchester City. And Phil Foden runs onto the ball and scores into the roof of the net past Alisson. And by the way, Alisson also looked like he was already on holiday, because normally he saves these kind of shots, Alisson, and Man City scored the 4th goal in the second half, which was actually pretty unfortunate. Again, Robertson was very out of position, and Raheem Sterling actually fake shots Robertson, but then he shoots wide, but Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, rushing back, desperately tries to clear the ball and puts it through his own net, which is pretty unfortunate. And Man City even scored a 5th goal, but thankfully that was ruled out for a handball in the build-up, a Phil Foden handball. But Mahrez scored the 5th goal in the 95th minute, which would have been extremely cruel on Liverpool to lose by 5 goals. Remember that we lost 5-0 in 2017, but Sadio Mane was red-carded in that game. And in this one, I mean, the only spell that I absolutely hated was like the first 10 minutes of the second half, because Liverpool were absolutely shocking in that 10 minutes. We couldn't string 2 passes together. I'm not even exaggerating. We just couldn't find the Man City attackers. And if Man City scored 2 or 3 goals in that 10 minutes spell, this would have turned very, very ugly. Van Dijk cleared it off the line, and it just shows what an incredible team Man City is, that they can absolutely blitz Liverpool, Premier League champions Liverpool, and they weren't even like in 5th gear. They were probably in 3rd or 4th gear. Liverpool were in 1st gear throughout the whole game. We just didn't look really too bothered about this. Once it was 3-0 at halftime, Liverpool were like, we tried a little bit to get it back, and we had a good free kick opportunity in the 57th minute, just on the edge of the Man City box, which Trent Alexander-Arnold almost scored from. But yeah, in the end, it was just too many chances missed for Liverpool, and Man City were clinical and ruthless in their goal scoring. And yeah, Raheem Sterling makes it 4-0 in the 66th minute, and thankfully it wasn't 5-0 and 6-0, because that would have been really embarrassing. I don't think there was an attitude problem, there was a physical problem. Man City were just quicker, sharper, like they had more hunger, more motivation, and this is not how Liverpool play usually. Liverpool usually really play much better football, and I think Jurgen Klopp is right. Like, Man City were just quicker in the mind than Liverpool. But overall, this still has been an absolutely incredible season, and I think Man City wanted to put down a marker, and they were hungrier. They wanted to show Liverpool that they are still a force to be reckoned with. And maybe this is 5-dimension chess by Jurgen Klopp, that we showed Man City that they are still a great team, and they don't need to spend 250 million on their side, and maybe That's why we let them win 4-0. I can't even say that with a straight face. I mean, Liverpool didn't let Man City win 4-0. We didn't lie down and just take it. But I think that Man City were just quicker, sharper, more motivated today. Liverpool were still probably in celebration mood. And if the games would have been reserved, if we played Aston Villa after the title celebrations at home and then Manchester City, probably the game would have been a lot different. Also, probably if Man City didn't lose to Chelsea and didn't lose the title then, and this was a potential title decider, I think we see a totally different game. Liverpool were just not up to their usual standards, and Liverpool usually only get a great result if we go all out, and even if you drop like 5% or 10% concentration against one of the best teams in the world, Man City, that can be enough to actually get refreshing. I don't think the scoreline was a fair reflection of the game. It should have been 5-3 Man City probably, or 4-2 Man City, something like that. And I think the only players who really played well today were Mohamed Salah, Van Dijk, maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold also had a pretty decent game. But I think Naby Keita should play a lot more, because when he came on, he was such in a good form. I could understand why Jurgen Klopp went with his tried and trusted Henderson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum midfield, but Naby Keita needs to play a lot more, man. This guy is something really special, and I really hope that Liverpool will play him a lot more in the future. The bottom line is Man City won, but Liverpool are the Premier League champions. We are still 20 points clear, and who can blame Liverpool, the players, Jurgen Klopp, for celebrating for a whole week the Premier League title when this is our first title in 30 years. And I don't think too many Liverpool fans are too bothered about losing a couple of games in the Premier League now, because the most important thing is the league title. That was the holy grail. That was what we absolutely craved and wanted by any means necessary for 30 years, and finally we got it. So Man City can be happy with their win. Liverpool are the champions of England, the champions of the world, the champions of Europe. That's the most important thing. And also, it was such a sweet moment seeing Manchester City stand guard of honor in front of Liverpool and applaud Liverpool, the champions of England. But I think Man City will be back next season. They will make it a lot harder for Liverpool. They will try to be more consistent. And Pep Guardiola himself said that there is a change of guard at Manchester City, that some players are going out. David Silva, Fernandinho, other players, Leroy Sané is leaving to Bayern Munich. So Man City are actually in a big rebuilding job. And if Man City get the recruitment right, they can be in the title race just up there next to Liverpool. But if not, if Man City don't get the players in who can straight away hit the ground running in the Premier League, then who knows, Liverpool might run away with the Premier League title race again next season. Well, at least that's what I'm hoping for. But judging on this performance, Man City on their day can beat any team, really. And they still have the FA Cup and the Champions League to go for. And I really hope that Manchester City don't win the Champions League, because that would just take the shine off a little bit of this season. But overall, I'm still absolutely proud and super happy about Liverpool's season. I don't really care about like losing one game or two games. It's quite weird that last season, all season, we lost one game and we didn't win the title, and this season we already lost two games but we are already champions. That's how weird this is. But I think last season Man City were just incredible, and Liverpool probably drew one or two games that we shouldn't have drawn, West Ham, Everton, teams like that. But this season we have been ruthless, and we need to be ruthless next season as well. I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp will have some stern words for the Liverpool players, and they will bounce back against Aston Villa and in the next game, which I'm really looking forward to. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Goodbye.